It's a pleasure to be joined by Sports Illustrated senior writer, and as of today, I can also introduce as New York Times best-selling author Chris Herring for his new book, Blood in the Garden. Did you float to the studio today after you got that call, or what?
I might as well have. I could have. Hearing from you and being able to join you and getting news like that, it's just a total dream and an honor.
Chris, do you believe that Dame is going to have a better year than CP3? Again, not as a better player, but just in terms of a more impactful year with his team.
You know what's hard about this one for me? First of all, I would say that I think Chris Paul can be more impactful still, but part of that is just looking at the team. So yes, Dame did lead his team to the 3 seed there, but they were also bounced in a sweep. Chris Paul, you're going to expect them to get back to at least the Western semis and maybe the Western Conference Finals again. And we watched Chris Paul have a massive impact in that Utah series where he can take advantage of the mid-range. He can make Gobert step up a little bit out of his comfort zone right there at the rim and drop a 40-point game and do some of the same things that Dame can do.
He's driven the ball and scored the ball better at the basket, better than everybody outside of Luka and Giannis, percentage-wise. And get this, at the rim this season, he has been more efficient than he was at his age 20 season, age 25 season, age 30, and age 35 season at the rim this season. Part of that is because he's just been on fire from 3. You can't really play up on him too much because it's going to give him too much leeway there at the rim. And we know even at 39, he's still got elevation and the ability to finish over these guys at the basket.
But as you talk to these hundreds of people and you reflect on all of the things that represent who the Knicks were and what they ultimately weren't, what is the legacy of that group in totality?
They are a part of the conversation. They're not the focal point. I'm not an idiot. We know who the focal point of that era was and which team that was. I think their legacy, Scott, is the fact that you look at today's game that is so beautiful and so spaced out and so skilled and so athletic and so anti what those Knicks were, quite frankly. This is what the league kind of ushered in when they said we can't have any more of what those Knicks teams do. You wouldn't have all the skill you have in today's league now if it weren't for the fact that those Knicks existed, and the league said we don't want physicality to outweigh skill and talent, and so we've got to put a stop to this. So
it's all hands on deck for New York tonight, but Cat, we know, is dealing with the knee injury. What are you hearing about his status with the Knicks season on the line tonight?
The Knicks listed him as questionable, Matt, and obviously they're going to be waiting to see, probably closer till game time, to see how he's feeling. He had a really heavy limp when he came in the interview with us after Game 4. But really, to be honest with you, I know people are going to be focused on, can he go? What ability does he have to score in this game if he's able to go? What kind of performance will he and Jalen Brunson have from a scoring standpoint? And it's not about the scoring in this series for the Knicks. It hasn't been for a while. They're shooting 47% from the floor. Karl and Jalen Brunson are averaging between the two of them almost 60 points per game and shooting the ball better, I think, than 50% from the field. It's about the defense, and it's been about the defense in this series. They just haven't been able to stop the Pacers. That was the majority of what they talked about beyond Karl's knee after Game 4, just the idea that the Pacers are hunting Jalen Brunson really relentlessly on pick and rolls. They obviously hunted Karl Towns pretty hard during Game 2, to the point that Tom Thibodeau basically pulled him off the floor for Mitchell Robinson.
What is your elevator pitch for LeBron to the 76ers?
Well, for starters, they've got the cap space to get him. They have a ton of cap space. They've kind of been preparing for this moment to try to build the team around Joel Embiid. They now have an all-star in Tyrese Maxey. Maxey's also played with a top-tier ball handler in James Harden, so he's used to having the ball, but giving the ball up to another playmaker. Embiid obviously was the MVP. Maxey is not even in his prime yet. You would imagine he's starting to enter that in the next couple seasons. This is a team that watched Tobias Harris have a scoreless Game 6 to close out their playoffs at the position that LeBron would be inheriting if he were to join that team. You have to imagine that if Embiid is healthy, LeBron is healthy, Maxey's healthy, that they take the pressure off each other and the ball handling responsibilities off each other, and that they are a top-tier team. They already are close to that, and that this might put them over the top if he joins.